So when do you want to go live here? Tonight from McQuaid, as it is the final game of the regular season, the Knights of McQuaid taking on the Royal Comets from Rush Henrietta. Good evening, everyone. Gene Battaglia, and tonight on the call, we are pleased to be joined by George Giordano tonight, as tonight the McQuaid Knights battling for potentially the number one seed in the upcoming sectionals, and for RH. Right now, they're playing for just to have one more game. They've got a shot to get into sectionals. And, George, I'm glad you're on the broadcast with me tonight because with the point system and trying to figure out who gets in, it's going to be an interesting, 12 hours here figuring out who's in and who's out for sectionals.
Well, the first thing you got to think about, Gene, is the fact that it's a shortened year to begin with. The sectionals were cut from an 8-team field to a 4-team field. So there are a lot of teams that are still fudging around out there and trying to get a win under the belt and possibly sneak in. I know McQuaid and Victor both are undefeated. Hilton has only got the one loss. They played last night. And so those three teams look like they're probably headed to the Class AA championships. That fourth spot, I think, is going to be between maybe Henrietta, Pittsford, and I don't know if Fairport's still got a shot.
Yeah, so Fairport coming off McQuaid. McQuaid with the win last week, 63-14. Let's go over how the Knights got here. McQuaid, a great season so far as the defending champs. And, again, you got to go back to 2019, of course. The defending champs. Week 1, a win over Aquinas, followed by a win over Monroe, shutting out Edison. And that game we did on Varsity Media, a very impressive win where they were down early and then scored 22 unanswered in the win over Pittsford. As for Rush Henrietta, they started the season with a win over Fairport, lost to Hilton, one over Schrader, one over Monroe, and then a tough loss last week, a 3-point loss to Pittsford. It's a fun McQuaid team here, certainly, George, that we're going to be seeing tonight. And they have the right kid at quarterback. Joe Cairns, the senior quarterback, certainly makes this offense go.
Well, Joe, of course, took his team to the state championship game in 19. He's got some receivers back. Jordan Bronco comes to mind right out of the gate. That offensive and defensive line is seasoned. They've got another season under their belt. And it's going to be a tough road up ahead for Rush Henrietta to move that front four from McQuaid.
Let's give you the starting lineups while the teams will have the coin toss. First for McQuaid, that offensive line going from left to right. Timothy Hahn is your left tackle. Jacob Kimbrough, your starting left guard. Aiden Koch, your center. Jimmy Clayton is your right guard. And Sam Tarnowski is your right tackle. When they go to two tight ends, you mentioned Jordan Bronco. You also have Ted Shanahan you have to concern yourself with. Receivers like Sam Perozzi had a big game in the win over Pittsford. Paris Smiley, Zay Collier, and Jack Beauchamp. A lot of talent. And then in the backfield, Jack Miller with big man Aldrin Wilson leading the way. We'll get to some more starters here, but first, let's honor our great nation with the playing of our national anthem.
Our national anthem.
Devin with the national anthem on the record. That's a way to start things off here tonight, George. As we have our teams getting ready here for the coin toss. Let's give you the starters on offense for the Rush Henrietta Royal Comets, as it'll be Jamari Johnson at quarterback. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, but certainly a threat out of the backfield. The sophomore will also be joined in the backfield by Jaden tight end in this offense. So you're going to see a lot of different wide receivers. Some of the names I'll be calling tonight: Max McKinder, number 10, Deshaun Gibson, number 22, Zion Powell, number 17, and Gabe Wright, number 11. The head coach for RH, Jason Collins. Coach Bates, of course, the head coach from McQuaid. As tonight, George, I just think it's important at the beginning here just to say what a journey this has been for these kids. If you are just kind of logging on for the first time, this didn't start in March. These kids got to the weight room in the month of September, been practicing for all this moment. Now's the time to have fun for both sides here tonight.
Yeah, you can say that. That's for sure, Gene. The kids from McQuaid, I know for sure, a lot of them spent some time with the indoor track program here. That allowed them to get into the weight room, work some techniques in the weight room, as well as improve on speed and agility. And I think that's paid off for them in this shortened season.
You see Aldrin Wilson out there, and McQuaid wins the toss, and here's the norm: they will defer.
Orange will receive the opening kick.
As the captain out there, that was Damian DiNatale out there for the coin toss for RH. And for folks who are not familiar with Aldrin Wilson, George, so what a fun player to watch here. He is certainly going to be a force at the next level. Just a great football player.
Yeah, you can see, Gene, that he's about 6'2", about 275, and he's wearing a number 21. That doesn't bode well too much for great linebackers to be able to run into that.
Now, for all of our families watching from RH tonight, I'm just going to give the disclaimer. The numbers on the white jerseys are tough to tell from our vantage point. We will do our absolutely best to correctly identify who is the ball, who made the tackle, who made the block, because certainly we appreciate you logging on. Like many teams in Section 5, RH with a soccer player, Thomas Proctor, who is going to be handling the duties tonight for RH. And that's been kind of one of the neat storylines here with the seasons being mixed up. Some different kids got to try the sport of football. RH to receive here. Nick Wood is the kicker for the McQuaid Knights, and we are underway from Tom Seymour Field. This is a nice kick that's going to be caught at the 5, brought up to the 10, to the 15, to the 25. We've got a flag coming down, and likely, George, this will be something against RH.
Yeah, normally at that point in the return, there's probably a block in the back or a hold.
While we have a moment, let's give you the starting defense for the McQuaid Knights tonight. And some of the names you'll be hearing on the defensive line: Jordan Brongo, number 82, Ted Shanahan, number 9, and as we were just talking about, Aldrin Wilson, number 21, Aiden Koch, number 73, defensive end. Linebackers tonight including Will Teresi, number 23, Jacob Kimmerow, number 51, James Dorr. Certainly we'll be calling his name. We anticipate a lot tonight. He wears number 6. Jack Beauchamp, Luke Bacora are your safeties. Jeffrey Grissner, Xander Rita are a couple of your corners. And we see Zay Collier, the sophomore, also out there tonight. He's got some natural ability. It's 1st and 10. This from their own 10, and the handoff, and there's not going to be much as you see number 9, Ted Shanahan and others coming down to make the tackle. No gain.
Jaden Scott, the ball carrier.
I do know that Rush Henrietta will run a turbo pace here, and they are lining up quite quickly. I do know that Joe Montesano, who was the previous coach, liked to run that type of offense.
It's a loss of 3 on the play. This will be 2nd and 13. The sophomore quarterback, Jamari Johnson, throws on the run, and that's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver on the far boundary. And that'll be Walker was the intended receiver. Dorr in on the coverage. So for McQuaid, this is what you want here, an opportunity to get off the field in the early going here, opening drive for RH, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 13. Talking with head coach Jason Collins this week of RH, he said manageable down and distance was the key for his team. If they were to pull off the upset, this would not fall into this category at 3rd and 13. Johnson under pressure, rolling. He's going to take it himself, bounces off of one tackler, and then finally is brought down. Paris Smiley and others coming in, and McQuaid will force the punt.
Johnson on the quarterback keeper.
Talking with Coach Bates this week, he did mention that the opening drive of the last 2 games, both the Pittsford and the Fairport game, the other team went down and scored. It's not going to happen tonight. It looks like McQuaid's going to have great field position to start things off.
Xander Rita and Jack Beauchamp deep back here, as this will be Proctor from his own end zone, the soccer player, to boot this away. It's a high snap. He gets it down, and it's going to be high yet short. And this will take a bounce. The Rita will come up, and he'll down it at the 39. So excellent field position here. The one unit we haven't gotten to here so far, let's give you the starters tonight for the Rush Henrietta Royal Comets on defense. Jordan Walker, the defensive end, one of the better players on this team. He's going to be anchoring that line. Damian Di Natale will be one of the players you'll be hearing on the defensive tackle, along with Ryan Cornish getting the start tonight. Sam Bowden is the other. Jamari Johnson, Braden Scott, Jason Dang, your linebackers. We'll get to the secondary after this 1st and 10 play as Joe Cairns the quarterback, and he will hand it off to Miller. Miller lowering his shoulder, and he'll be tied up. A short gain of 2 on the play. Rounding out the starters here for RH, Gabriel Wright, Chad Thomas are the corners, and 2 sophomores at safety, Tyler Bernaducci, along with Jaden Scott. 2nd down and 8 here for McQuaid. We are in the 1st. As Bronco, the tight end, will line up on the right side. Miller is your single setback. Bronco going into motion. The snap and a call again to Miller. Miller with that left hand and keeps those legs moving and the pile moving. And on some second effort, gets some nice yardage. This will bring up 3rd and short.
It's definitely a 4-down territory for McQuaid. From that point, I don't believe they'll be able to kick a field goal or punt. So let's see what Coach Bates' thought is on this 3rd down play.
No wind here tonight, George, but it feels like early November here tonight. And if you're in the Rochester area, you know what we have in the forecast. I don't want to say that out loud. But it's not going to be here in time, the snow, for the game. As on 3rd and short, it's going right back to Miller. And Miller this time is going to be tackled short of the marker. As coming up to make the tackle, Jordan Walker, that defensive end. Great play by Walker. And now, as you mentioned, George, they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Would have been a 47-yard field goal attempt. If you punt the ball into the end zone, it's going to only be a 10-yard pickup. So, yeah, on 4th and 1, I think McQuaid's decision was made very early.
Wilson will be the fullback. 2 tight ends on the right side of this formation on 4th down and 1. The handoff going, and Miller's going to get it. Miller across the 30 and down to the 28. He needed 1. He gets 3, and the drive continues for McQuaid.
Tackled at the 28-yard line. That run is good for McQuaid Jesuit. 1st down.
Good to hear the fans out here tonight. So we were looking forward to the fall here. Receiver on the far side will be Luke Pecora. And George, at some point, you know McQuaid's going to put it up over the top. When you're running, those 2 tight ends become awfully appealing here. As now it again will be a handoff, but Miller puts it on the turf, and it's going to go over. As that's number 4, Jordan Walker with the recovery. And a big mistake there for McQuaid. The turnover, it's RH ball.
7, Ernest Jones Jr. of Rush Henrietta.
Well, first thing you think about there is the fact that the field is now flipped. A couple 1st downs from Henrietta, and they'll be putting the ball down deep into the McQuaid territory. Costly turnover.
Ernest Jones Jr. gets credited with the strip, and Walker with the recovery. And now 1st and 10 at their 31. The quick change, can RH take advantage? No score here, we're in the 1st. Jamari Johnson, the quarterback, he's going to hand it off on the read option, and that McQuaid defense, they are stout, not giving an inch whatsoever.
Scott, the ball carrier.
As on the tackle, we'll give it to Jimmy Clanton, holding his ground. We'll give him 2 yards on that. RH players looking at their wristband on 2nd down and 8. Johnson takes the snap, and we get movement prior. The flag is on the far side.
Yeah, it looks like McQuaid might have lined up in a neutral zone. Free 5, the ball's blown dead before the snap.
Remains 2nd down.
In high school, you cannot infringe in the neutral zone.
Different than college and the pro game where they would let the offense have a free shot there. 2nd down and now 3. Good down and distance here as Jaden Scott is the running back. 4 wide receivers. Johnson pump fake. Doesn't like it. He's under pressure and does the smart thing and throws it away. Takes a little hit there at the end. Nothing big from Wilson, and it's 3rd and short.
Pressure on the play by Aldrin Wilson. 3rd down.
The other big rule change that you would have from pro and college to high school is that there is no box that the quarterback has to evade to get out and prevent a grounding penalty. That ball was thrown over here on the track, so
I
got to be careful.
George, I like that play. If it's not there, keep the short down and distance for RH. Johnson once again with Scott. We'll see if Scott gets the call. And McQuaid jumps again. How about that? So McQuaid is going to give a free 10 yards here combining the two. I'm assuming this is, and indeed they will mark it off against the Knights.
Dead ball. Encroachment on McQuaid. It's a 5-yard penalty as a result. It'll be 1st down and 10 for Henrietta.
Zion Powell is the receiver to the near boundary for RH. First and 10 at their own 43. Scott will get the call, trying to get around that left end, showing some speed. Breaks a tackle, trying to cut it up, and that is a hard 1 yard, certainly, as Jimmy Clanton was able to finally hold his ground. And all that running, George, only goes for 1.
Yeah, and it looked like there was about 9 black shirts around the ball. A couple of defensive tackles watching, but everybody else is flying to the ball on defense.
Talking with Jason Collins, the RH coach, said the thing about Jaden Scott is you're just going to need that effort of getting multiple players trying to take him down. That's going to be a key tonight for the McQuaid defense here. Help on the way. As now here will be the snap, the pump fake, another pump fake, the throw, and it's going to be incomplete as Dorr. And I'm not sure what Johnson was thinking there, thinking his receiver was going to cut it up, and now it's 3rd and 9.
3rd down, 9.
I love the fact that McQuaid is able to substitute about 5 players off defensively. It looks like a nickel package. We'll see what kind of pressure they get with their down 3.
Jack Beauchamp, one of those players, checking in, number 11. Johnson looking at his wristband as we're nearing the midway point here of the first. No score here. Johnson with time. Fires left side. He's got a man open on the far side. That'll be a 1st down and more. Still staying on his feet, and we'll get it down to the 38. 1st down for the Royal Comets. They will give that to Gabriel Wright, the receiver, and that's a big play for the Royal Comets.
Boy, Jamari's showing great poise in the pocket for a young kid. He's a big player, 6'4", 235, according to the program. Only in 10th grade. Is
Jaden Scott is your running back on 3rd down and 9. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Johnson using that play clock. Takes the snap and another play that, similar to last time where Scott takes the delayed handoff. He's going to be short of the marker, gets it inside the 20 and down to about the 17 to bring up 4th down. George, I think this might be just out of Proctor's range here. So
it's 35 yards from the point it's at now. I don't think 3 points is going to make the difference in this game.
No, you got to score 7s if you're going to have a shot at beating McQuaid, certainly.
I do know that the procedure that they're going through right now is they look over the defense. The offensive staff is making a call. They check their wristbands, and away they go.
Johnson takes the snap, the sophomore, rolling right. He's directing traffic, throws on the run, and incomplete. Pecora in on the coverage, and a good drive for RH. However, results in nothing on the turnover of downs.
It'll be first and 10 for McQuaid.
You have to believe that Rush Henrietta was really happy with the way that drive went. They completed a pass or two, ran a couple of counter plays, and they're going to grab some confidence being able to move the ball. Now it's time to play some defense.
3:32 remaining here in this first. Gene Battaglia, George Giordano here on the call. I'm with Section 5 royalty here tonight, George.
Well, we do have Frank Marafino up here, that's for sure, our timekeeper. Hall of Fame official, longtime official, and doing a great job with the scoreboard tonight.
Well, we appreciate all the work you guys do. As here will be the pass to Beauchamp on the far side. Nice little screen that's going to result in the first down across the 30 and up toward the 35. Well-designed play, and it's a McQuaid night, first down.
Jeff Beauchamp. Run out of bounds at the 34.
So our first pass tonight completion for McQuaid goes for a nice gain. First and 10 at the 34. Miller is your setback. Bronco going into motion, the tight end. The snap, Miller getting the call, has both arms wrapped around that football, and he'll get stopped at about the 39. That's a nice healthy gain of 5 on first down.
Miller on the handoff. Tackled by Ernest Jones Jr.
Ernest Jones Jr. with the tackle.
Second and 5.
Xander Rita will be the receiver to the near boundary. Beauchamp is over there as well for the Knights, as we're under 3 minutes to go here in a scoreless first. Joe Cairns takes the snap, handing it off to Miller once again. Squirts through that hole. He's got first down yardage up to the 49, a gain of 10. Actually, they'll mark him right at the 50, a gain of 11, and another McQuaid first down.
Great game, but the handoff, the mesh point between the quarterback and the running back on that was also bobbled a little bit. So things just aren't right in the backfield for McQuaid. They hit a fumble in the first quarter, earlier in the first quarter, and now that little miscue, but 10 yards is 10 yards.
Works out in the end here. Right at midfield. Delayed handoff going right back, and Miller's not going to find much, but he does a nice job just to kind of find a little bit of a seam to get to.
Pushes ahead for 2 yards. Second and 8.
Second down and 8. Miller to the right flat. Here's Cairns. Cairns throwing, and it's incomplete. Intended for Bronco, and over the top. They're going to get the pass interference call on Ernest Jones Jr. George, what did you see on that?
From here, anybody can make a call, but it was beautifully played. He had the front arm in the passing area. He must have hit him from behind before the play was made.
See, that's the fun part about being up here. You know, we can second guess everybody, all in good nature.
The officials are down there. They're right down in the action, and obviously, if there was contact before that, came out real quick, so we know it was probably the right call.
First and 10 at the 33 after the PI call as Beauchamp will go into motion. Cairns plants, fires right, and it is going to be incomplete. Dangerous play on the right side there as the RH defense looked like a couple defenders were looking to jump that route. Ernest Jones Jr., good recovery by him, just committing the pass interference call, but this time breaking that play up to bring up second and 10. Down to 142 remaining in this first. Trips left, including Bronco, the tight end. And it's going to be the bubble screen, sending up to Beauchamp. Beauchamp makes a cut. Beauchamp has got the first down yardage and is driven out of bounds. Gets a little shove at the end. And My correction, though, a little short of the first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it'll be 3rd down and 3.
A lot of the passes we're seeing tonight, Gene, are very similar to what took McQuaid to a title, Section 5 title last year and a trip to the New York State championship game. Short bubble screens, getting their wideouts involved, and the running back in motion makes him another receiver.
Bronco, the tight end, to the right side on 3rd down and 3. Bronco going into motion. Cairns with a snap. He hands off to Miller. Miller gets around the left side. 1st down yardage, lowering the shoulder and gets it inside the 20. Another nice run from Jack Miller. And McQuaid, for the first time tonight, is in the red zone. Oh, but we have a flag here.
Yeah, it was definitely some taunting going on. It looked like the Henrietta defender was, there late and discussing what had happened a little bit more than what the officials were going to put up with.
You could see a little bit of that the previous play after Beauchamp got tackled. There was a little bit of a push well after the whistle.
Tip ball on sportsmanlike conduct penalty against RH. Penalty will be enforced.
So this puts McQuaid in business with 1:27 remaining in this first quarter. First and goal. We'll put it at the 8. Miller going into motion. It's going to be a screen to the left side. That's Pecora in traffic. Makes a tackle. Touchdown. Touchdown, McQuaid. That's Luke Pecora with the catch and the run. And the senior gives McQuaid a 6-0 lead.
That's been a great play for McQuaid for the last 2 years. I believe they call that bounce. It gives you a little motion to the open field. They throw the ball back into the boundary with a bunch of lead blockers, including their offensive tackle and their tight end.
Nick Wood on to attempt the PAT to make this 7-0. Snap is down. The kick is up. We have a flag on the far side.
It is off the crossbar and good. We do have a flag.
So if you're McQuaid, do you take the point here or do you want to go for 2? Let's see here. Now they'll just take the point.
It goes to show you how important it is to keep your cool. The 15-yard or half the distance to the goal line penalty did cost them, making things a lot easier for McQuaid to put it in. You cannot make those mistakes against McQuaid. They're a seasoned team. They're well coached. You got to make them earn whatever they get.
So one adjustment RH is going to have to make here. Those passes to the near and far boundary, George. That's a play that's working here for McQuaid. Those little screens going for nice yardage on that drive.
Yeah, they're like long handoffs, to be honest with you. Joe's done it for the last 2 years. Hunter Welch did it before that. The receivers are catching the ball. They're picking up their blocks. Their wideouts are blocking beautifully. All important things when you throw those quick screens.
Hunter Walsh, of course, now the quarterback at St. John Fisher College, starting in his freshman year for Paul Vosberg's team. 1:22 remaining here in this first quarter. McQuaid up 7-0.
We talked a little bit about the preparation the kids did in the offseason. I know Nick Wood was a Section 5 hurdle champion. He spent a lot of time training. His leg strength is fantastic. He's a great punter and has a huge upside as he gets ready for his college career.
And Wood will have the honors of booting this away. And it's going to be the squib kick that's going to allow McQuaid to get down defensively, and there won't be much there as Xander Rita and others making the tackle. 1:15 remaining here in the first. McQuaid up 7-0. And now for RH, George, this is a team that moved the ball pretty nice on their last drive, came away with no points. So certainly this next drive, just you don't have to get points necessarily, but see if they can move the ball here a little bit here, just at least to fill up the field position.
Yeah, it's already a long field at the 25. If they chip away at it, grab a few first downs, and keep themselves in contention. They don't want to turn it over here, that's for sure.
Jamari Johnson, of course, the quarterback, and as we've seen all night, 4 wide receivers. Jaden Scott remains in at running back here for RH. Johnson fires near side, and that'll be caught. Nice cut in. Not going for the first down, but Zion Powell with the reception, and Powell gets it across the 30 and up to the 33 for a gain of 8.
Again, Jamari Johnson's got a rocket for an arm. Those are just quick outs, hitches into the boundary. You're going to give him that. Just got to make sure you don't let him go over the top of him.
Johnson on second and short. Opens up the playbook here just a little bit. Long count. And now he'll look back at the sideline. Ryan Kramer, the offensive coordinator for RH, signaling that in. The snap and the handoff, and this will go to Scott, and Scott is not going to get it. As Paris Smiley came up to help out on that tackle, and again, it's not going to be just one guy stopping him. It's going to be 3rd and short coming up. RH could take it to the quarter if they wish. Oh, they're going to give it to him. Okay, so they give him the first down. As they stop the clock momentarily to make sure the markers are set.
It looks like they're going to take the quarter. Again, another nice first down drive. Again, keeping the ball away from McQuaid.
We have reached the end of the first quarter. It's McQuaid leading RH 7-0. We'll step aside briefly. This is the Varsity Media Sports Network. So glad you're with us here on Varsity Media. And yeah, you want to go to the Section 5 website because come tomorrow in Class AA, we will know the seedings, the when, the where. Class A, George, we already know some of that. Let's see if I can do this off the top of my head. Canandaigua, Spencerport, East, Irondequoit. Is that correct?
Well, officially
Maybe.
now, we did hear from Section 5. I am coaching presently at West Irondequoit. We heard that we were the #1 seed at West Irondequoit. We will host East High School on Saturday at 1 o'clock. The other semifinal will be at Canandaigua High School versus an upstart Spencerport. 3 teams that didn't play each other. Actually, the 4 teams in the tournament, none of them saw each other during the regular season. The Class AA, still up for grabs.
Yeah. And again, we will have 12 games streamed, at least one camera here on Varsity Media, the Varsity Media Sports Network. Wow, nice run on the near far side. Scott has room. Scott makes a cut. Scott's still on his feet, and then finally Bronco comes in. Flag coming down late. That might be a face mask at the end, but what running by Jaden Scott, number 34.
Yeah, at that point, it looked like there was just the running back, the ball carrier, and maybe 2 defenders. In that spot, normally it's a face mask penalty. There's 2 varieties in high school. One where you would brush the face mask with an open hand. It's a 5-yard penalty. Or if there's a grab face mask, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah,
and it looks like it looks like the big one.
Yeah, so the run goes for 26, and you tack on another 15. And now it's 1st and 10 from the 15, so the first time RH has entered the red zone tonight. Trips to the left side, and we'll see if they go back to Jaden Scott. Johnson at quarterback. Again, another long count as he waits the call.
He's got to be careful. He's getting a warning now from the back judge.
Yep, and they're counting it down here. There's the snap. The handoff again going to Scott, and that'll go for a gain of 2. You know, George, I think everybody watching from the RH side tonight would admit, hey, you're facing the defending champs. They're undefeated McQuaid. You're the underdog here tonight, RH. Shortening the game here tonight for RH. Is that kind of the strategy here, working down the clock and whatnot?
Well, I definitely believe that their game plan is working. They've grabbed some first downs. They've kept the ball away from McQuaid, which is more important than them actually having to score. So things are very evenly paced.
Johnson on the keeper, and that hole will close up on the far side. Inside the 15 and down to about the 13. This will be 3rd and long.
Johnson on the quarterback keeper. Aldrin Wilson in on the tackle.
Now, I do know Aldrin Wilson has been working with a torn labrum, or a partially torn labrum in his right shoulder, and it looks like he might have tweaked that a little bit.
Yeah, you could see he was favoring it as he came off the field, making that tackle. 3rd down and 8. Johnson with time, pulls it down. Now he's under pressure, and there he'll go down. So he takes the sack all the way back to the 21. And now 4th down, you figure they'll go for it here on a cold night. That might be a lot to ask Proctor here to boot this field goal.
It's 4th down.
I'm really impressed with Jamari Johnson. He didn't like what he saw. He pulled it down. He lived to fight another day. Now he's in 4th and 11, taking his time.
Yeah, you don't need the first down. You can get it down to the 5, or excuse me, the touchdown here, I should say, and pick up the first down if they get it to the 5. Johnson in the pocket. Now throws back of the end zone, jump ball, and it's out of play, so just a little bit too much on that. And McQuaid, once again, for 2nd time tonight, the Knights take over on downs.
It'll be 1st and 10 for McQuaid from their own 15-yard line.
So a nice run by Jaden Scott. And again, RH with 2 nice drives here tonight, George, but no points to show for it. And the woulda, coulda, shoulda here of RH here tonight in a game that they absolutely have to have in order to make the sectionals.
You know, Gene, I've been coaching. This is my 42nd year. And it seems every time you go to a game where there's parent night or homecoming or the parade, there's always a distraction. So the home team normally has to kind of catch up to themselves. Let's see if McQuaid can do it.
A lot going on here in McQuaid today. You had volleyball, you had baseball practice, there's a concert. I mean, it's a full parking lot here as Karen's in trouble. Karen's is stripped, and the ball is loose. Who's going to come up with it?
Looks like McQuaid might have
McQuaid
been lucky enough
recovers.
to get that.
Wow. As Cairns did not feel the pressure coming from the backside. As we take another look, hard to see who got that. My apologies. I want to make sure we get the number right there on that. Good play by the RH defender. Well, how do you like that, George? In the end, it goes for a positive gain, though. 2nd down and 7. Miller goes into motion. Pump fake to Miller instead of the throw over the middle, and that's going to be caught. That's going to be Xander Rita, and Rita will have it across the 35 and up to the 37. A gain of 15, and a McQuaid 1st down.
Gene, it's a game of inches, isn't it? The ball was stripped out of Karen's hands a minute ago. There were 3 Rush Henrietta defenders around the ball. McQuaid came up with it, and all of a sudden now they complete a 15-yard pass and are on the move. Got to play every down.
McQuaid on the move. They have a 7-0 lead. Touchdown came back in the first quarter as Pecora's touchdown. Our only score here tonight. Cairns, the delayed handoff to Miller. Miller lowering his shoulder, gets it across the 40 and up to the 42 for a gain of 5. Actually, they'll mark him at the 41. And now McQuaid taking their time looking back at the bench.
Both of the teams are taking the play clock deep into the count. You saw that with Henrietta, and now you're seeing signals coming in late for McQuaid.
2nd down and 6, and the handoff going to Miller, and Miller keeping the legs moving, and what might have gone for nothing actually ends up for a nice gain as That will not be enough for the first down. It'll be a 3rd and 1 coming up.
42-yard line.
Now it looks like they're
Oh,
going to
they're going to mark it. Well, all right, they do give it to him.
First down.
Bronco, the tight end, to the left side. 3 receivers. Pecora is to the near boundary, and the slot is Beauchamp on 1st and 10. Cairns pump fake, throws, and it's in and out of the hands. It's going to be intercepted. Bronco could not bring it down, and RH now with an opportunity in transition and getting tackled up across and into Gabriel Wright, number 21, with the interception.
Looks like we might have a player hurt.
And that's it looks to be an RH player on the near side. While we have the injury timeout, we will step aside. RH gets a takeaway, and they're in business in McQuaid territory. It's 7-0 McQuaid. We are in the second. This is the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy.
He's got. Oh, he's in.
Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516.
The good news is that the injured player for RH, Gabriel Wright, who had the return there, was able to walk off here. As now Johnson throwing on the run. That's going to be knocked down. Good defense by Paris Smiley. That ball a little thrown behind the intended receiver. 2nd down and 10 coming up. So for McQuaid, George, 2 turnovers here in the first half. That's certainly something that Coach Bates is not going to be happy about, win or lose here tonight.
Yeah, not at all. It's not like a McQuaid team to turn it over that early, that often. It's kept Rush Henrietta in beautiful field position.
Again, 4 receivers, and your single setback is Jaden Scott. Scott breaks a tackle. Wow, he looked like he was going to be tied up. Still stayed on his feet and gets it to the 42. This for about a gain of 6.
Stanford Smith with the tackle.
I'll give it Stanford Smith with the tackle.
Really impressed with Braden Scott, leading his team in rushing and touchdowns.
Yeah,
Only a sophomore.
Jaden Scott, 6.7 average coming into tonight. And that average might be going up here before the night is done. 10 touchdowns on the ground. As Kander goes into motion, the handoff inside on 3rd and short, and McQuaid is going to tighten up and not allow that first down. Wilson's back in there on defense. You can call him. Will Teresi, the linebacker, also came up to help out. And now it'll be 4th and 3.
Now here's where a hard count can really help you. They did catch McQuaid offsides twice earlier in this game. If you don't get it, you punt the ball out of there and see if you can play defense. Grab that field position. You don't want to give them the ball at the midfield.
Brongo, 82, checks in for Stanford Smith. 88 on 4th and 3. Big play from the McQuaid defense. Johnson looking back. Takes the snap a little high. Fires right side. Batted up into the air. Incomplete. And that is going to be Brongo with the deflection. And 3rd time in this first half, McQuaid gets the ball back on a turnover on downs.
Turns the ball over on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights from their own 40-yard line.
You know, when you're up here in the booth, it's real easy to double guess or second guess the play call. If you're a little bit of more of a conservative coach, maybe you punt it there. Coach Collins decided to go for it, figuring his team is an underdog and seeing if they can convert. Now they've really got to play defense.
Joey Luzzi is in there for the first time tonight. Pecora also on the near side, and the handoff. Miller with a head of steam. Miller getting toward that first down marker. He gets it, and he'll just go into RH territory. A gain of 11 for Jack Miller.
It's good to see that Aiden Wilson is back in the game. I'm sorry, Aldrin.
Yeah, Aldrin Wilson is just a great two-way player. Here he's going to be lined up in an H-back role on the left side. Cairns under center, takes the snap and handing it off to Miller, and Miller getting a hole. Miller just taking tacklers with him. That's going to be another big gain there, and they're going to mark it close to the first down. It'll be just shy, a gain of 9.
I'm sure Coach Bates is keeping an eye on the clock. Under 5 minutes and running. Doesn't want to give the ball back to Henrietta, so maybe he'll go to the run game here early in the series.
Remember, McQuaid gets the ball, too, to begin the second half, having deferred. We are in the second. McQuaid up 7-0. Cairns on the run. Cairns throwing, and it's going to be incomplete, as on the near side, Sam Perosi was the intended receiver.
Pass intended for Sam Perosi is incomplete. 3rd and 1.
With 2nd and short, he took a shot. Incomplete. He's going to roll the dice to see he's got 2 downs to get the 1 yard.
Shanahan will be the tight end on the left. Bronco the tight end on the right. On 3rd and 1, we'll see McQuaid keeps it on the ground. Indeed they will. Big hole for Miller. And Miller taking a tackler with him. Miller down to the 30, a gain of 10, and another McQuaid first down. Tackle made by number 4, Jordan Walker, for the Royal Comets.
Looks like McQuaid's offensive line is starting to get some surge now that they're warmed up. Double tight, like you mentioned. And it looks like they have a 275-pound fullback leading the way.
Yeah, Aldrin Wilson just pounding away. Here he's going to line up as a 3rd tight end here. And again, going right back to the ground and getting tied up. Great play there by Ernest Jones Jr. to wrap up Miller, and a loss on the play back to the 34, a loss of 4.
Again, there's no rush for McQuaid. Try to eat up as much of this half as they possibly can. Grab a first down and go back to work. They've got all 3 timeouts, as does Rush Henrietta.
Receiver on the near boundary will be Pecora on 2nd and 14. Cairns fires right side, in and out of the hands of Shanahan. Might have been a defender getting his paws in there as well as Shanahan. George, I know what he was thinking. He's thinking, I pull that down, and I got a shot at the end zone.
It did look like there was an Rush Henrietta defender who defended that very well at the very end of the play. Now it's 3rd and 15. Again, we're in that zone where you're at the 35. Too far for a field goal. Probably not going to punt it, but if he does punt it, he does have those timeouts. He might be able to pin him down inside the 5.
Beauchamp, the receiver, to the near side. 5 wide receivers on 3rd and 14. Cairns steps up, throws left side. It'll be Perazzi. And he's going to get it, but it's going to be short on the marker, but this will bring up 4th and manageable. And for the RH defense here in a game that hasn't gone all their way here, this is a big opportunity to stop the bleeding here and get the ball back late in the second. 4th and 5 comes up.
Now you come up with your best play. Little play action pass maybe.
Jack Miller, your running back, as Bronco, the tight end. It'll be a pass. Cairns fires right side, and it's going to be caught by Beauchamp in the spot.
Pass is complete.
Is going to be good enough for the first down. Well, it's just smart football, George. They're going to give it to you. Take it.
5-yard hitch.
First and 10
Pitch
from
and
the
catch.
18.
Keeps the clock running. And again, McQuaid's in no hurry.
Yeah, there's some nice clock management here by Coach Bates here because the idea is not to score too quickly, I suppose.
Coach Bates has studied time management. This one's going
Yeah,
for a little bit.
Miller to the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown. 18 yards for Jack Miller. And with 2:10 remaining, McQuaid now goes up 13-0.
18 yards into the end zone for the McQuaid Jesuit touchdown.
Jack Miller showing that speed, getting around the left side. And so it'll be Wood on to attempt the extra point to make this 14-0. Snap is down, the kick is up. And that's through the uprights. And with 2:10 remaining here before halftime, McQuaid going up 14-0.
Looks like we have a sideline warning on Rush Henrietta.
Okay.
Flag came out late. In high school, you do get a warning before the officials will tack on yardage. Now, if you go back to the start of that drive, remember Rush Henrietta went for it on 4th down at midfield, which shortened that field. Allowed McQuaid to, score before the half. They're getting the ball after the half, and they have 3 timeouts. So Rush Henrietta's got to grab a first down here, or Coach Bates' team is going to get the ball back one more time.
Yeah, both teams with all timeouts remaining. And, the problem for RH now is you can see, the energy on the McQuaid sideline. You can see the fans are into it. Just a fun atmosphere here for the home team here tonight.
McQuaid plays emotionally. I've watched them play for many years under Coach Bates, and the kids really play with a lot of emotion. They're together. They've got great chemistry, and they can sense right now they're in a tight ball game. Every play is going to be important. Let's see how this last drive of the first half materializes for Rush Henrietta.
Wood to boot this away. And it's another squib kick, taking a big Sunday bounce up at the 20. And a nice tackle up at the 34.
Ernest Jones Jr.
So Ernest Jones Jr. with a return.
Paris Smiley.
Smiley with a turn with a tackle for McQuaid.
First and 10 for RH.
Paris Smiley's like a Swiss Army knife. He does a lot of different things. He plays offense, defense. He's on special teams. He's, again, another track kid from indoor who's really improved his physical stature and has really had a great season in special teams as well as playing defense.
2:05 remaining here before halftime. And RH with all 3 timeouts remaining. They will start this drive at their 34. Jamari Johnson takes the snap, rolling to his right, throws on the run, and it's going to be incomplete. Opportunity on the far side.
Pass intended for Chad Thomas.
Chad
Jr.
Thomas Jr. was the intended receiver. Jeff Gertzner was the defender for McQuaid.
Second down, 10.
And like you mentioned, George, the problem for RH is these plays stop the clock here. McQuaid might get the ball back here. 2nd and 10. Johnson is going to go deep. Wants a man on the left side, but that is just overthrown. Pecora, the safety, coming over to help out. That was Gertzner in coverage for McQuaid, and now it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, when you think about managing the game,
Third and 10.
Henrietta has now stopped the clock twice for McQuaid. Didn't make him burn a timeout. This is a huge down because McQuaid will end up getting the ball back in decent field position with 2 or 3 timeouts. They've got to convert here.
Well, they do have the running back, Jaden Scott, who is a threat anytime he touches the ball. RH looking at the wristband on 3rd down and 10. The snap, it will be a pass. Here comes the rush, the throw near side, and then turning in the wrong direction was the intended receiver, and this will bring up
Pass is incomplete.
4th down
10.
as Gashawn Gibson was the intended receiver there, and you could just tell he got twisted in the wrong direction.
16 minutes, 21 seconds on 3 plays.
Now, Frank telling us 21 seconds and 3 plays, George. That is certainly to the benefit of McQuaid.
No doubt. It allowed them for McQuaid to keep their entire playbook in open.
Proctor on to punt, his first punt tonight. He's under pressure, and it's going to get off a low squibber that it's not going to roll very far, and it's going to be down at the 47. So just 53 yards in between McQuaid and a potential another touchdown here. With 1:34 remaining before halftime, McQuaid takes the ball back with 3 timeouts, up already 14-0.
When you coach football, you're always thinking about double dipping. Try to score before the half, and then again, your opening drive of the second half, it blows a close game, wide open. Wouldn't be surprised if you see those screen passes now.
They were working before. Perazzi, the receiver to the near boundary for McQuaid. And, a low snap that Cairns is going to pick up. And now Cairns trying to improvise. Throws, and that was deflected. It falls incomplete. Very dangerous play there for McQuaid. And you can see the RH defender. That is number 4, Jordan Walker, upset knowing that he had a chance for a big takeaway.
No signal was given on the play. We didn't know up here if that was a fumble or an incomplete pass. It now is ruled an incomplete.
McQuaid coming up to that line of scrimmage with 1:25 remaining, 2nd and 10. Here before halftime. Miller going into motion. Cairns now throwing deep, wants a man deep, but we get a whistle. So blowing the play dead. Beauchamp was the intended receiver, but the flag on the far boundary.
Dead ball, false start.
And a false start here for McQuaid.
It's a 5-yard penalty.
Now if you're Rush Henrietta, you're thinking about using some timeouts. Depending on these next 2 plays, you might want to try to get the ball back or at least make them punt. A little cat and mouse game.
2nd down and 15. Oh, another flag coming down.
It looks like, another false start.
Is it 2 men in motion there? What do you? I did not see it from my angle.
Dead ball, false start on McQuaid. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Once those offensive linemen are set and have their hand in the dirt, they can't move, they can't flinch.
Well, my friend Andre Fontenette, one of the coaches for McQuaid, calls those administrative penalties, George. Drives him nuts when those penalties, the free yardage you're giving. 2nd down and 20. Brongo, the receiver to the far side. Perazzi to the near boundary. 1:20 remaining. Cairns.
We've got another flag.
Wow. Yeah, this time it's a delay of game.
Wow.
Wow.
Dead ball, delay of game penalty. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Well, at what point do you just take a knee here, George?
Well, you got, like I said, you got to
Yeah.
be careful because
Yeah.
Henrietta's got those 3 timeouts. I'm going to say that McQuaid's going to try to run the ball here.
Wow, 2nd down and 25. 3 consecutive penalties. The snap, Cairns throws, has a man, Xander Rita, is going to cut it upfield. Rita trying to get to the boundary across the 40. Some good wheels. Gets out of bounds and gets about all the penalty yardage back. We'll call that a gain of 15.
All of that, he got them back to within being able to
Brings up 3rd down
run some
and 10.
offense here. It's an interesting end of the half. We got timeouts all over the place. We got penalties.
The snap and the handoff going to Miller. Miller's going to have the first down
Now you got to
yardage.
call timeout. That's a definite timeout situation right there. You don't want to lose any more time.
So they'll stop the clock
And McQuaid
momentarily.
will take
Yeah,
their timeout.
They will take the timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 14-0 our score here. We are late in the second. McQuaid leading on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You know what? When we watch the stream version, if the kid's on the field, they should go here and then stop them.
We're back here tonight as McQuaid using their first timeout. 1:02 remaining here before halftime. And again, on Varsity Media, the Varsity Media Sports Network, we will have all the sectional action for you this weekend. This is one of those nights where you're better home just watching your device and logging on to Varsity Media Sports Network here.
Try some couple things. Run the ball. Get the hell out. You're only down 2 touchdowns. No? You could be up, and you got to give them the ball in the second half to serve.
So the ball at the 43. First and 10. Beauchamp going into motion. Snap, Beauchamp calling for it. He's under pressure, and he'll be the release valve there. Beauchamp tiptoeing his way on the far sideline. He will step out of bounds before the first down marker, so that gets some positive yardage, and he stops the clock with 54 seconds remaining before halftime.
That's being aware. You know, Beauchamp has been around a while. He had brothers that played here. Get as much yardage as you can, and step out of bounds. Stop the clock, and here we go.
3 receivers here on second down and 3. Miller flaring out to the right, and he's going to get that pass, and he gets upended. Good open field tackle by RH.
Looks like McQuaid's going to play fast here.
Ernest Jones Jr. with the tackle. McQuaid not calling a timeout here. Interesting. As the clock rolling on, 35 seconds remaining. Cairns throws near side, and they will call it complete. That's Perazzi with the reception, and that's a first down for the Knights. But perhaps more importantly, it's 32 seconds remaining here.
We're slowly getting into Nick Wood's range. I'm thinking that he probably can kick up to a 45-yard field goal. The flags at the top of the goalposts aren't moving at all. It is a cool night.
Cairns out of the shotgun, takes that snap, looking right. Nice pump fake, and now he's going to take off left side. No, he did. Did he cross the line? He did not, and he flings it downfield, and that is going to be good enough for the first down.
I want to call timeout there just to get organized. Now he's calling timeout. Great job with time management right there. He didn't want any more seconds to click off the clock. Looks like the ball's somewhere around the 13-yard line, so they can get a first down, which sometimes it goes against you. He's got one timeout left, so these balls should be thrown into the end zone.
This is a good little drill here for McQuaid here as they get ready for sectional play here. You don't want to settle for the field goal attempt here, George, obviously.
Yeah, I think they'll take the field goal on fourth down if they have to, Gene, depending on the distance. But again, these passes will end up in the end zone, either as touchdowns or incompletes. He does have the one timeout, which he'll probably keep in his pocket until a field goal attempt. You don't want to have to run your field goal unit out there as the clock's ticking down, at least not in high school.
So off the timeout, Again, McQuaid with one timeout remaining.
Oh, enjoying a little. Is this Deep Purple? What is this song? That's going back. Oh, Black Sabbath. Whoa. We had Jimi Hendrix at the national anthem, and now we got Black Sabbath.
Yeah, it's classic rock here tonight at McQuaid. Beauchamp going into motion. On 1st and 10 from the 13. Beauchamp catching that, breaks a tackle, fighting toward the end zone. He's going to be taken down short of the marker. They will mark him into the end zone. I beg your pardon, a flag coming down late here. That's tough to see from our camera angle. I thought they marked him down there short, but then right at the end they call the touchdown. Now the officials are going to confer here just to make sure they all saw the same thing.
From up here, we didn't see anybody's hands go up. So we're not sure whether or not he was out of bounds in the end zone.
Well, I can tell you the pylon's down.
Now they're talking.
Long
discussion.
conversation.
We're not even sure if he's out of bounds. Clock is stopped.
Well, McQuaid Wood is out there to
And
attempt
it's
yeah.
first down.
Ooh.
Coach Bates is having a little conference with, it looks like a
Touchdown.
Yep.
They call touchdown in the unsportsmanlike conduct on
And after the play,
RH after the play.
Conduct penalty against McQuaid. Excuse me, correction, against RH.
So Beauchamp, a 13-yard reception from Joe Cairns. A lot of second effort on that there, George. Nice play by Beauchamp.
Yeah, McQuaid kids play hard. It was a really great 2-minute drill by McQuaid. I'm sure they've practiced that at least once or twice a week. Catches, get out of bounds. Catches, get out of bounds. Keeping your timeouts in your pocket are so important at the end of a half. He was able to do some things and score with 15 seconds left. It looks like we have a unsportsmanlike penalty against Rush Henrietta, and they'll have to be prepared for an onside kick because you're only going to be kicking it from 15 yards closer.
So here's Wood on to attempt his third PAT of the evening. Snap is down. Kick has the distance, and that is going to be true. 21-0 McQuaid, and the news gets better for the Knights as they'll get the ball to begin the second half. Again, while we have a second, we want to just remind you, and certainly any other year we'd be saying, come on out to sectional play. It is a great time, and hopefully we'll be saying that coming up in the fall. But for everybody that cannot make it out, coming up this weekend, Class A and AA, you'll be able to watch here. 12 games in all. The semifinals and the finals coming up. Semis this weekend, the finals next weekend on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now, we talked a little bit about this, Gene. Nick Wood can very easily kick the ball out of the end zone for a touchback. It's a great opportunity for a onside kick and another opportunity to go down and put another one in for McQuaid. Those 15-yard penalties come back to haunt you.
Yeah, they look at this. McQuaid is kicking off on the RH side of the field. And well, Wood took his time there lining up the ball exactly the way he wanted it. And he's just going to do it safely, and they will blow the whistle. And I figure RH will probably take a knee, and that'll bring us to the half. It's funny how the game of football is, George, because RH had two really nice drives that first half. They had two takeaways. They had plays and opportunities, yet if you don't cash in, here we are, 21-0 McQuaid here at halftime.
Yeah, kudos to the McQuaid defense. I know Chris Urban and his staff and the rest of the guys on the Corey Parker is a defensive coordinator. They've done a great job getting their kids to play great defense, especially when they get down in the red zone.
RH takes the knee, and that's going to bring us to halftime. Now, we will take a short break, and then when the teams are stretching with a few minutes left, we will come back and join you. So don't be going anywhere, all right, too much, as we will be back here for second half action. Once again, our score at the half, McQuaid leading Rush Henrietta 21-0 here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming,
Cuts inside. Touchdown, Red Devils.
Rosin coach Craig Murphy.
There's you.
What a move!
And the foul.
videography, and photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games,
Patience offensively against this excellent defense. Now the shot's fired. How about that? Right into the top of the cage off the stick.
Be second down and 3. Handoff this time right up the middle. And B.J. Clark is gone for the touchdown.
school events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone at 866-577-1950.
The ball carrier, gain of 57 yards and a touchdown for the Irish.
And there he goes, number 7, Bucky, wide open field. Walk in, touchdown, Eagles. Under Hussein, big carry. Under Hussein, takes the position. There is no look at Daniel with his shaking back move. Stay on his feet. There he goes. Touchdown, Eagles. Right with the throw. Oh, Randy Barstow, number 6, has his throw deep and is caught by number 12.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy. He's got. Oh, he's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
Sweet baby, oh baby, oh baby, sweet baby, oh baby,
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming,
Cuts inside. Touchdown, Red Devils.
Rosin coach Greg Murphy.
There's you. What a move. And the foul.
videography, and photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games,
Patience offensively against this excellent defense. Now the shot's fired. How about that? Right into the top of the cage off the stick.
It'll be second down and 3. Handoff this time right up the middle. And B.J. Clark is gone for the touchdown.
school events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone at 866-577-1950.
Nice second effort there, getting into the end zone. And that's where we're at, 21-0. Gene Battaglia with George Giordano, and Georgia just gets better and better from McQuaid as they get the ball here to begin this third quarter. As that short kickoff is going to be taken on the run by Zay Collier, and Collier, the returner, will get it up to about the 38-yard line. And for RH, again, 2 takeaways in that first half. But, George, talking with you off the air, good point you made that RH went for it only down 7-0 on 4th and 5, the turnover on downs. And since that point, it's been McQuaid in complete command of this game.
Let's see if Rush Henrietta can get back in the game with a stop here. They're off to a good start with that.
Yeah, a little bit of a sloppy handoff there. That's going to be Di Natale there with the tackle as Miller gets maybe a half yard on that.
Got to give a shout out to Jeff Petrone for the job he's done with the special teams here at McQuaid. It seems like every time they punt or kickoff return, they're getting great field position with their special teams play.
Trips to the right, and Miller going into motion. The pump fake, Carnes is in trouble, and he goes down. Carnes gets sacked by Jordan Walker. Walker with a sack back to the 35, and this is the start RH needs on defense here to get back into this game.
Second time Joe has been sacked from behind. Looks like they're going to have to shore up some kind of that backside protection. And Henrietta's off to a great start.
Jordan Walker is a handful, the defensive end. McQuaid will go 4 wide on 3rd down and 15 at their own 35. As Cairns, the quarterback, takes that snap. Here comes the rush. Cairns still with time. Lots of time. Now he's going to take off. Cairns across the 40, and he's going to get the first down. A scramble of 16 yards for Joe Cairns, as once he made his decision, he was off to the races. First down for McQuaid.
That time he had great pocket presence, great time. Didn't like what he saw downfield. Got his feet moving. 16 yards later, McQuaid's on the move.
Zanderita will be the receiver to the far side. Zamparazzi to the near boundary on 1st and 10 right at the midfield stripe. Opening drive here of quarter number 3. Miller going into the flat on the left side. He catches it on the run, and he'll be driven out of bounds. So
Pass complete to Jeff Miller.
see if we can identify who that player was. And for everybody watching from RH, it is difficult to see the white numbers on the white jerseys. So it'll be 2nd down and 9.
You mentioned that earlier in the broadcast, Gene, about the numbers. As of next year, the Federation rules will state that there has to be contrasting colors on the numbers in the jerseys.
So this will be a uniform change for RH next year. Bronco, the tight end, going to motion, the handoff in between the tackles, and that'll be Miller down to about the 45.
Miller, the ball carrier.
And this will bring up 3rd down and 5.
Gain of 4, 3rd down, 5.
They brought up some JV.
4 wide receivers. Rita, one of the receivers to the near side, and 3rd down and 5. Cairns, pump fake. Now looks left. Still with time. Now he's going to tuck it and run. He's going to be diving for that pylon or for that first down marker, and I think he's got it, George. He's close.
Cairns on the quarterback keeper.
Yep, we didn't get a signal yet.
No, they're not going to give it to him.
Down.
All right, so they put the 4th down marker up.
And inches.
Yeah, don't be surprised if McQuaid comes out in their jumbo package. Or just gets under center and goes quarterback sneak.
Yeah, I don't see Aldrin Wilson out there yet, so that would be – no, they will just go 4 wide. They're putting Bronco, the tight end, on the far side on 4th down and 1. Spreading it out. Cairns, they're going to throw for it on 4th and inches. Cairns throws across his body, and it's incomplete. Interesting play call by McQuaid, and RH, this is what they needed, a stop. They get it. 21-0, McQuaid with the lead, but RH goes on offense for the first time in the second half.
Coach Bates is the offensive coordinator as well, so it's coming right off of his play sheet. Must have saw something that he liked earlier in the drive and thought he could exploit it.
And for RH tonight, it's been a game where they've moved the ball, but, again, nothing to show for it in terms of points. Jamari Johnson, the quarterback, the sophomore, takes the snap, spins, throws across his body, and that's just going to be in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That's Deshaun Gibson on the near side, 2nd down and 10.
Intended for Deshaun Gibson is incomplete. 2nd and 10.
All right, looking at their wristbands here. 4 wide here on 2nd down and 10. High snap, that's trouble. As going back on it and having to fall, big loss on the play as Johnson has to eat it all the way back inside the 25-yard line.
Sometimes when you go to a wristband type of communication, the ball's snapped while the quarterback is just kind of taking his eyes off of his wrist. Obviously, at that point, there was a little miscommunication between the center and the quarterback, resulted in a huge loss.
Yeah, the ball all the way back to the 22. This is 3rd down and 28. Johnson, and they're just going to hand it off here to Scott. Scott is going to try to do this on his own, and Bronco comes over, wraps him up. James Dorr also in on the tackle, and the McQuaid defense answers. They'll force the punt.
4th and long.
Well, the decision to throw the ball on 4th and inches really didn't hurt. We'll see where McQuaid gets the ball here with a punt return, and they'll go to work again.
Proctor to punt this away. Beauchamp and Rita to return here for the Knights. High snap as Proctor is going to get it off. It's a short kick. And that roll, well, it'll be down in RH territory at the 48. So it's a punt of 25 yards on the net, and good field position for the Knights as they begin their second drive this half. 6:54 remaining in the third, and our score remains McQuaid 21 and RH nothing. Aldrich Wilson will come out here and be the fullback on this drive. 2 tight ends as well, Shanahan and Bronco. 1st down and 10. The snap and the handoff will go to Miller, and Miller gets some 1st down yardage. Miller bouncing it to the outside. The speedy Jack Miller gives the Knights another 1st down. We've got an injury on the field, and this is an RH player on the tackle that's slow to get up. With that, we will take a quick timeout. Our score here in the third, it's McQuaid 21, Rush Henrietta nothing on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy. He's got. Oh, he's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
Chad Thomas was the injured player, but he was able to walk off for the Royal Comets. That's certainly good. It does go for a first down on that last run. 1st and 10 now for the Knights as Miller will get the call again. He's going to make a cut, lowers his shoulder, keeps those legs moving. Jack Miller, some terrific running here as he gets it down to the 24-yard line, a gain of 14. George, I just really liking what I'm seeing out of Jack Miller here tonight.
Well, Jack Miller obviously had to sit behind Andrew Passero a year and a half ago. And when McQuaid took that long trip into the state championship game, Andrew was a great running back. He reminds me a little bit of the way Jack is running tonight. They're shorter statured. They've got great cutting ability. And that offensive line is just now leaning on Rush Henrietta.
Well, another injured player down for RH with 6:26 remaining here. While we have the injured player, we will step aside here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Sweet baby, oh baby, oh baby, sweet baby, oh baby,
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
Goes McCarthy. He's got. Oh, he's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
The injured RH player, not good news, that's Jordan Walker, but he was able to walk off the field. So that's now 2 players for RH on consecutive plays that have had to leave this game. 1st and 10 at the 23. This has been good running by Miller. The play action sets up. Wide open touchdown. Touchdown. Luke Pecora in the end zone. His second of the evening. This goes for 23 yards. And McQuaid now up 27-0.
You mentioned it early, Gene, the play action pass, after you run the ball 2 or 3 times, you got to be careful because the defense is starting to creep up a little bit. Perfect call at the right time.
Pecora showing some speed, getting behind the defense, and just great execution by Joe Cairns to sell the run and deliver the ball downfield. Now nearing the midway point of the third quarter, here's Wood once again, and he gets this up, and he is perfect on the evening on PATs. And McQuaid in command, 28-0. For RH here tonight, Joe, it's a team that you want to say next year. It's not next year. I mean, next season is the more accurate term. I mean, we're going to have a quick turnaround to next season. And for this young team, certainly you see some pieces that head coach Jason Collins can build off of as we get ready in terms of their program for the month of September.
I think we looked at a calendar today, and I think it's 12 weeks of off season, if we will, as the kids prepare for their spring seasons, lacrosse, baseball, track and field. That'll go by quickly. And then back into the weight rooms, into camps. It becomes a very quick summer. And all of a sudden you're lining up again. And here we go. It'll be an 8-game season, hopefully this fall, with back to 8 teams in the sectionals, which will give you 3 rounds. So your sectional champs will play 11 games next year in Section 5, and then on to 3 more at the state level.
That's good. So the plan is to have the states back then, George. Is that it?
At this point, everybody's working to go forward with that. And Scott Barker's done a great job of managing this spring for us. And hopefully he's got plans already going for 3 months from now.
Yeah, it's on the kick and some good coverage there by the Knights. And so let's give a shout out to Kendall Burno, number 30, in on the tackle. Zion Powell had the return there.
Kendall Burno with the tackle for the Knights.
19.
Wouldn't be surprised if this is McQuaid's last defensive stand with their first stringers. They've got to start thinking about keeping everybody healthy for their run into the next 2 weeks.
So McQuaid, and it's a lot to be determined, but it's all but certain they will not face Victor in the semi. Victor is up at last check 35-0 on Pittsford. That's a little bit of an eye-opener tonight. Here's going to be the handoff, and well, this is one player that has certainly run hard, but this time he's not going to find anything. That's Jaden Scott.
At this point, the McQuaid offensive and defensive lines have really started to take over the game. It's going to be tough sledding for Henrietta at this point.
A loss of 5. Second down.
Stay with your game plan.
15.
Yeah.
Try to push the ball forward.
Clock will roll on as Johnson, the quarterback, takes that snap, fires, and it's going to be just a little bit behind the intended receiver going down to get it. A reception on the play.
Johnson's pass complete to Zion Powell.
So Powell with the reception, and
Pick up a 5. Third
that'll
down,
bring
10.
up 3rd down and 10.
So one thing about a hurry-up offense, too, that many times if you don't get the first down, you've put your defensive team on the field again, probably after a minute or so. So unless you convert on get some first downs, that defense is playing a lot of football.
Johnson rolling right. Jamari Johnson throws on the run, and that's intercepted. On the far side, the Knights get it back. First turnover of the evening.
Johnson's pass is intercepted
I believe
by number 27, Jeff Gerstner.
Gerstner with the interception. Good job by Jeff Gerstner to step in, and first mistake really by Jamari Johnson tonight. First string offense coming out here for the Knights. We are in the third, 4:40 remaining. We'll see if they keep it on the ground here. Miller is the single setback. Miller will get the call, little stutter step. Now here he goes. Miller, first down yardage, still keeping those legs moving, and he gets it inside the 15-yard line. A nice gain. They will mark him down to the 15. A gain of 16 for Jack Miller. And a flag on the play as well. Public address announcer Sean Miller helping us out on the broadcast tonight. As it'll be a sideline warning against the Knights. And the penalty is actually against RH too, so we got a few things working there.
Yeah, we never got a signal up here.
First and goal.
First and goal, yep, so not sure what the penalty was, but here's the flare to Beauchamp. Beauchamp trying to get around the corner, breaks an arm tackle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown for McQuaid. Jack Beauchamp
Joe Cairns to Jack Beauchamp for the McQuaid.
with his second tonight. And how about quarterback Joe Cairns? This is his fourth touchdown pass tonight. 34-0 is our score here.
The way it started off. Yeah, right.
Wood here to attempt the extra point. And he remains perfect tonight. George, while we had a minute, you mentioned spring sports. I'd like to give all the spring athletes here across Section 5 just a shout out, because those are the kids in those sports: baseball, lacrosse, softball, spring track. That you've had to wait a full calendar year to get back at it. Practices began Monday. Second practice was today, and then, well, with snow on the ground tomorrow, we'll see what we get in. But I think that's one of the feel-good stories here of the week, the fact that those kids in those sports finally are getting back to the thing they love here. It took it a full year.
Yeah, we're really excited about having all the kids back. We talk about the weather this week, but, usually spring sports start right around the first week in March. So
Yeah.
We're 6 weeks later, and whatever day they can get out there, I know that the spring sports have less days committed to practice and to more games. So hopefully the snow won't stick around too long, and we'll be back out by the end of the week, back playing some games next week.
I'm sure some of these McQuaid athletes will be kind of crossing over there. As a nice kick by Wood will be brought back close to the 20-yard line. And so we've got a lot of football as far as time here tonight. Still 4:06 remaining in the third.
Yeah, it does look like the starting defensive unit for McQuaid's coming out.
Ball's returned to
Got to be
20
careful that
yard
you don't lose a couple starters here on freak accidents as they get ready for their first round of sectionals. Up 35-0. Maybe it's time for some clean shirts to get back in the game.
George, I was hoping you would have your abacus out here tonight, and you can look out the point system and figure out who that fourth opponent might be if McQuaid gets the top seed. So,
Well, after checking my slide rule earlier today, I believe it's going to be Pittsford. Even though they are getting beat tonight, I think that losing to a 6-0 Victor team still will allow them some points to get into the sectional tournament as the 4th seed. Setting up a rematch, setting up a rematch with, I think it's McQuaid.
Yeah,
I think it's McQuaid, and they just played 2 weeks ago.
We did that game on Varsity, the Varsity Media Sports Network, George, and it was a game where Pittsford led 8-0, and McQuaid got punched in the mouth, and they answered pretty impressively, winning on the road at Pittsford.
Yeah, it'll be different next week. As you know, the higher seeds all will host the first game, and the remaining highest seeds will host the finals, which will be the first time in Section 5 history that those games aren't going to be held at a college location.
Yeah, for the last few years we've been at SUNY Brockport. We've been at the U of R in the past. It'll be a different feel, certainly.
Unfortunately, we still have the Slate's fan ban, and you would hope that maybe within the week or so we can get maybe a few more tickets to allow the parents, friends into the game.
As the pass on the far side. As one of the neat things here tonight that here we're right on Elmwood here, and if you've ever driven by McQuaid, and you could see students on the far side just watching from the street there.
Ball is good for a RH first down.
Rush Henrietta getting the first down. They will keep the clock moving here. 2:30 remaining as Johnson fires right side. Another completion, and accidentally stepping out of bounds after a 4-yard gain. The receiver on the far boundary.
Johnson's pass complete to Deshaun Gibson.
Gibson with the reception.
Pushed out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Second down.
Zion Powell, the receiver to the near side. The snap and a handoff is going to go for first down yardage, and into McQuaid territory goes Jaden Scott. Jaden Scott is going to get a gain of 17 on that run all the way to McQuaid 45.
You know, Gene, McQuaid has scored a lot of points this year, as we've seen recently. But if I look at their defensive stats, they've only given up, it looks like 6 touchdowns on the year, and we don't even know how many of those were against the backups.
Yeah, it's
playing great defense.
That one was in and out of the hands. One he'd like to have back. Zion Powell not looking the ball in. Henry Smith, one of the twos getting some work in. He was in on the coverage, number 28. Number 28, Henry Smith. Second down and 10 from the 45. Johnson out of the shotgun, takes that snap. Under pressure, Shanahan was in his face. Now he's rolling right, and he's just going to throw it away. Looking downfield, that's just great coverage by that McQuaid secondary.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier in the game. In high school, there is no box to run out of. Intentional grounding threw that ball out on Elmwood Avenue. Easy call for the officials.
So there's no box. Was that because he didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage?
No, it's just that it's absolutely no relationship. They've got to have a receiver in the area. Again, that ball ended up on about the 8th lane of the track, and he might have gotten confused with what the pro rules are of being able to throw it wherever you want. Again, it's something that a young quarterback is going to have to learn in the offseason, meetings with his coaches, film study, making sure that he's maturing as he gets through his junior year.
Third down and 20 after the penalty, as now the ball goes back to RH territory to their own 44. Johnson throwing deep, a high arcing throw looking for Zion, and it's going to be batted away. Zion Powell, the intended receiver.
Pass is incomplete. Broken up on the play by Zay Collier.
Zay Collier, number 13, with a great defense for the Knights. And we are going to see Proctor come out with the punt here. 1:25 remaining. RH is not going to go do anything fancy here, facing a 4th and 20. It's going to be a low punt, and it's going to be downed at about the 33-yard line. 1:16 remaining.
Of course he's going to go to 34. Jesus. Pick a yard line, guys.
Wouldn't expect to see McQuaid throw many passes from this point forward. Try to get a run game going with your second offensive line, a second running back. You got a new quarterback in the game.
Yep, so we got some different numbers looking down to the sideline. Will Teresi, trainer working on his lower body. I think that's Aldrich Wilson. It's out of the game too. And your quarterback now is John Mahar, number 5. He is a junior. And he will hand off and trying to get around the right side. Mahar handed off to Oberlees. And Sean Oberlees with the gain across the 40 up to the 42. That'll go for a gain of 8.
At the 42-yard line. That's a pickup of 8. Second down and 2.
Yeah, Georgia, will we see much throwing tonight from McQuaid the rest of the game here? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. You just want to get out of this game now, the last quarter, healthy. You don't need to lose anybody as you start getting ready.
Oberle's showing some burst. Oberle's going up to the 40 of RH. Big gain of 18 by the junior running back, Sean Oberle's.
At this point, now you're starting to think about a little bit about the spring season ending, and that these are going to be your starters probably in 3 months. So you definitely want to get their skill work down on tape. And I'm going to take the quarter here, but giving some guys a chance to carry the ball, block, tackle, and be able to visit with them in the off season.
Eric Derleth is in on the offensive line. Some good blocking there. So different names and numbers will try to work in as we head to the fourth. It's been all McQuaid here this evening. The Knights, 1 quarter left in the regular season, up 35-0 against RH. This is the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Sweet baby. Oh, baby. Sweet baby. Oh, baby.
Sweet Caroline playing here tonight at McQuaid, and for everybody that is watching, wish you were here, but we appreciate you watching here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Gene Battaglia, George Giordano, as we are in the fourth here, and McQuaid putting in their twos here, so to speak. As again, the quarterback will be John Mahar. Oberle's will get the call, and this time he's not going to get anything. A loss of 1 on that play.
Oberle's the ball carrier. Jacob Sturgis with the tackle.
Sturgis with the tackle for the Royal Comets.
Second down.
Gene, you mentioned that there was going to be coverage of all the class championships and semifinals. Is there going to be any coverage of the 8-man sectional championships? I know that we've got 4 or 5 teams playing 8-man football in the smaller schools.
That is really cool too. As here will be the handoff and then trying to run through that. Oberle's taken down by the back of his jersey.
Dang with the tackle.
Dang with the tackle for RH. This will bring up 3rd down and 7.
3rd down, 7.
Yeah, how's that going, George, the 8-man?
Well, the scores are in the 70s and 80s because the kids are playing on the same regulation-sized field with 3 less defenders. So
yeah.
It's going great for those schools who can't field an 11-man team. And instead of having to eliminate the sport, they're at least getting a chance to play.
Oberle's makes a cut. There is a flag down, however.
Oberle's on the handoff. There is a
So
flag.
this would go down for a 1st down, but I think this is coming back.
It happened about 15 yards downfield, or 10 yards downfield, so we're probably just going to replay that down again. Somewhere, probably bring up about 3rd and 8 again.
So it will be a holding call against the Knights.
3rd and 9.
It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot.
So they will spot it at the 40, so this will be 3rd and 10. The down and distance. Mahar under center. He's going to hand it off to Oberle's. Oberle's makes a cut, still trying to keep his legs moving, and in the end, he's going to be cut down after only a 1-yard gain. And McQuaid will play this the way they should, up 35-0 here with the ball.
One, fourth down.
Face a 4th and 9. They will punt this away as Wood to come out. I believe this is the first punt of the evening here for McQuaid coming in the fourth quarter. Wood gets this off. This is a nice kick that is going to roll and go out inside the 15-yard line. So the McQuaid special teams doing their job, and Rush Henrietta now just looking to get something positive going. And you always feel for those kids that are seniors, George, because in the back of their mind they're thinking, oh gosh, this is our last quarter here. You know, it's a very young RH team, but there are seniors on this team, certainly, and we want to kind of acknowledge that. Good that they had this opportunity here to get the season in.
After looking at the Rush Henrietta roster this afternoon, it looks like they have 11 seniors on the team, some of which are planning on going on to college to play some football. And again, it's going to be a very short turnaround between now and when that college season starts, would probably be the early part of August.
Johnson takes the snap, and he's going to hand it off. And Collier, also Burno in there, helping to bottle that up, the handoff to Jaden Scott.
Scott, the ball carrier.
So that'll go for a gain of 3.
Eric Fairlift in on the tackle for the Knights.
Max Newcomb is in as a linebacker here for the McQuaid Knights. This is going to be 2nd down and 7. And Johnson, as he's been doing all night, very patient. And now the back judge starts to count this down. Takes the snap, and it's going to be the screen set up to the near boundary. And good tackle there. Coming out to make the tackle, that's Xander Rita, number 34.
Pass is complete.
This will bring up 3rd down and 5.
Max Newcomb with the tackle for the Knights. 3rd down.
So for RH, they're looking to pick this one up. The snap, looking left, pump fake, throws, and that's going to be caught. And breaking a tackle and off to the races. Big gain here for RH into McQuaid territory, down inside the 40. That ball, and they will go for
Johnson's
a
pass
gain of
complete to
31.
Deshaun Gibson.
Gibson with the reception.
Gibson pushed out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
They try to get a score here before the end of the game, and that might be the future of Rush Henrietta right there. Young quarterback to a young receiver.
Gibson with the big play, and they're going to go back to the ground game. And Scott is going to pick up that 1st down and keep that pile moving.
Scott, the ball carrier.
So now if you're McQuaid, this becomes a pride thing, you know, because it's a McQuaid team that they held Pittsford just to the 1 score this year. But they've also got a shutout against Edison. If they can get a shutout tonight against RH, believe me, that's in the back of their minds right now on the field. This is 1st and 10 to the 30. The snap, the throw, far boundary, and that's going to be incomplete. The pass a little low for Gibson.
I think you got to look at the bigger picture. Giving up a score with your second group or your substitutes is far less important than having a kid get hurt on your first unit. And McQuaid's got well over 50 kids on their roster. They might have brought up some JV kids for the game. It's their time to shine at this point.
Good point, George. As now it'll be close to the line of scrimmage, and then just not planting his feet was the quarterback, Jamari Johnson. The pass incomplete on the near side.
Johnson's pass is incomplete, 3rd down.
McCare Rogers, the intended receiver. 3rd and 10. 6:42 remaining here this evening. The snap, the handoff. Scott. Scott is close to the marker, but not quite. Gain of 8 on the play.
Matt Krenzer with the tackle for the
Matt
Knights.
Krenzer with the tackle for McQuaid.
Gain of 8, 4th down 2.
4th down and 2 coming up. Oh, and McQuaid will give that as Kendall Burno came walking across that line. First down here for RH.
Against McQuaid's a 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down for the Royal Comets.
Two receivers left, 2 to the right. 1st and 10, down to about the 19. And the read option, and nothing there as Johnson is going to get taken down by a few defenders for the Knights.
Johnson on the keeper. Henry Smith leading the charge for the Knights.
Harry Smith with the tackle.
Loss of 2, 2nd down 12.
5.5 minutes remaining here. The snap and the handoff. Trying to get through, and not much there.
Scott, the ball carrier.
Jaden Scott getting the call once again. And this will bring up 3rd down and 10. Schofield with the tackle for McQuaid.
3rd down 10.
Back to the original 19.
Oh, we have a McQuaid player that all of a sudden realized there's something not feeling right. That's Henrietta. Hopefully that's just kind of a cramp. And he comes hobbling off.
I have a flag.
It looks like he ran out there, and they still have 11 men on the field.
Yeah,
now they're picking it
yeah,
up.
They're waving it off, yeah.
They do have 11 on the field now. He would have been the 12th. They could have called 12 men on defense.
3rd down and 10 from the 19. Johnson looking left, throws, wants a man, end zone's got it, touchdown. Touchdown for the Royal Comets, and they're on the board. It's 35-6. Good play, 19-yard touchdown, and good for RH on that play.
Johnson's pass complete to number 22 is Sean Gibson.
Gibson with the nice turn upfield, and you can see the secondary getting crossed up on that route for McQuaid. So Gibson with the touchdown, and the Royal Comets break the shutout. They're going to go for 2 here. Why not? With 4:24 remaining. Rolling right. Johnson throws, and the 2-point conversion is good.
The 2-point conversion is good.
Let's see who got that in the end zone. Our apologies here, folks. The white on white is tough. White numerals on white jerseys. George, what has it been like with these short weeks? How does that change the preparation here? Is it something you just adjust to, or?
You've got to. We normally have a 6-day prep in a regular season to play a game. As of this week, now we've only got 4 days left to get ready for a semifinal. We played, the A's played last night, most of them, and are now going to play on Saturday afternoon. So very, very short period of time to get ready, especially when you might not even know who you're going to play against.
Yeah.
Sometimes you saw that in the COVID-reduced season at the college level this past year. There were teams that forfeited games, and all of a sudden BYU is playing Coastal Carolina, and, it's 3 days turnover, So better to play and not be prepared than to not play, I guess.
All right, kicking off for the first time since the opening kickoff in this game. Actually, it was the kickoff, I believe, in the second half. Only the second time they're kicking off tonight. You get my point. It'll be the return by McQuaid, and that'll be Ben Dano with the return, number 33.
Ben Dano on the return.
You talk to everybody connected to this McQuaid program, and they're just high on what is behind this varsity team here, George. The program is certainly up and running. What Coach Bates has here rolling.
365 days a year, believe me. We do a lot with them, from the West Rondequoit group. Hilton, a very successful program from the West Side. McQuaid, we spent a lot of time together in camps. We clinic together. Spent a lot of time talking football. Bobby's done an outstanding job of surrounding himself with some great coaches. If you look down on their sideline, there's about 15 of them, and they all do a great job.
Oberle's will get the call here, and for McQuaid, there's an outside chance they might be able to run this out here. We're down to 4:06 and counting. That will go for a gain of 3.
Would like to give a shout out to Rush Henrietta, though. If you look again at their roster, they have 22 kids back. He had some great sophomore performances tonight. Jason Collins, a young coach who's going to be inducted into this Section 5 Football Hall of Fame here whenever we have the next ceremony. He was a star player at Iona and as well as Greece Olympia High School. He surrounded himself with some great people like Joe Montesano, who was the coach who orchestrated the great run Rush Henrietta had to a state championship back in 2007, maybe?
It's been that long.
It's been a while, yeah. I'm not sure if it's that long, but grabbed him back again, and some of his assistants are, regenerating, and you can see that this program's going to be on the up and up as well.
3rd down 4.
Yeah, to have to bring up Ryan Kramer from the JV, and now he's the offensive coordinator, and just to get more coaches involved also in Section 5. That's always a great thing. 3rd and 4 from the 26. As
quarterback's doing a great job of managing the clock. He's going to get a signal from the back judge. See if he can chop it down to 1 or 2 seconds left in the play.
There you go. Yep. Mahar will hand it off to Oberle's. Can Oberle's pick this up? It's close.
Oberle's on the handoff.
Yeah, it depends on the spot.
4th down.
Okay.
Pickup of 3, 4th down 1.
Yeah, let's see what Coach Bates does here.
Wouldn't be surprised if he waited to count it down to 1 second, call timeout, get his punt team out there. It looks like they're holding up in a huddle right now.
As this brings us under
like
2
they're on
minutes.
play now.
Yeah. Well, get this, and then you can go to the victory formation. We're down to 150 remaining.
Still waiting on the back judge. Yep. Mahar's doing an excellent job of managing the clock.
There we go. There's the count. And that pile will move ahead. It looks like rugby the way that moved all the way up to the 35. John Mahar with the keeper, and McQuaid is capping off a perfect regular season here tonight. They'll finish the season at 6-0. Nothing more you can ask for here tonight with a 35-8 victory. And again, you want to go to the Section 5 website tomorrow to learn who exactly McQuaid will be getting and what time, for that matter, coming up this weekend. And RH has all their timeouts, but now it's McQuaid.
4 o'clock that Sunday.
And they will have to do this one more time. Well, the fans here at McQuaid appreciative of these young men who certainly in a trying year picked up right where they left off in that run to the state championship final. And they're looking to defend their Section 5 championship. It's on to the semifinal as now the clock will wind down. Our final score here tonight from Tom Seymour Field on the campus of McQuaid Jesuit. McQuaid wins this one by a score of 35-8. George Giordano, your final thoughts here tonight?
Well, upstart Rush Henrietta did come to play. They ran into a very experienced McQuaid Jesuit team, a team that's geared to make a great run against Victor, Pittsford, and probably Hilton in their championship series.
I'm being told 4 o'clock on Saturday will be the time for that next game, and next Sunday. Well, we've had Monday football, Tuesday football. Why not Sunday football in Section 5? Sunday, 4 o'clock. Hope you can join us as the Varsity Media Sports Network will have the broadcast with you. Want to thank Kyle and the whole team here, Ben Turchin, for Varsity Media Sports Network, and for my partner, George Giordano. My name is Gene Battaglia. Once again, our final score here tonight, McQuaid winning the regular season finale 35-8 over Rush Henrietta. Thanks for watching the Varsity Media Sports Network. Have a good night.